Wapenzi watazamaji, mko poa? Muna filaje? Leo ni Friday. Yani najua wiki imekuwa ngumu, lakini najua nini? Leo, we want to just end the week on a high. My name is Betty Kialo. I hope that you're doing fantastic. Boy, oh boy, did I miss you tonight. And of course, the whole week is I'm so happy to actually have you here, of course, on TV47. This is this Friday. And tonight we have a fantastic show lined up for you. Tukona Baba Talisha. Talisha, that dynamic duo, we love them online, TikTok, kila mahali. They're sharing their personal experiences to just make us feel a little bit better about our lives, really. And of course, they're going to be joining us here on the show. Tayari tena tukuna Willis Ochieng joining us live and direct from Kisii County. Atakuwa anatuambia kama tunasema nini ama nini, which is which. Well, you know what? We have a fantastic show lined up for you. Of course, with the top stories. Let's begin with the highlights. Twende kazi. Human rights activists vow to take legal action against the national government for its alleged failure to prevent the Shakahola cult tragedy in Kilifi County.
There is a possibility of a Shakahola 2 massacre, and the government has decided to do nothing.
The activists claim the state ignored early warning signs and failed to act. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has issued a stern warning to individuals in possession of illegal firearms, particularly in the volatile Kerio Valley region.
Surrender the gun, we'll take you to a technical college and we'll take you to a construction site to go and build affordable housing.
He has urged them to surrender their weapons immediately. ODM party leader Raila Odinga has thrown his support behind Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, affirming his right to speak freely.
Hakuna haki ya kuongea. Kama wewe unatofautiana na yeye kwa maoni, sema yako.
Well, this comes just days after Sifuna declared the ODM-UDA Memorandum of Understanding as dead. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight on our show. Our sign and language interpreter is Rhoda Nyamai. Let's begin with our top stories tonight. And the Chief Justice Martha Koome has spoken out to distance herself from the controversial terrorism-related charges brought by the officer of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Now, Koome made it clear that decisions on who to charge must be based strictly on evidence and the law, not influenced by her past statements or by what the public thinks. Take a look.
With more than 100 protesters out of the 1,500 arrested following the June 25th and the Sabasaba protests that rocked the nation, facing terrorism charges. Today, Chief Justice Martha Koome broke her silence over the matter, distancing herself from terrorism-related charges filed by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Terrorism remains a dynamic and evolving threat to national and global peace and security, and it is essential that we continually enhance our knowledge, skills, and competencies to handle these complex cases effectively and expeditiously.
Koome emphasizing that charging decisions must be based strictly on evidence and the law, not on her past statements or public opinion. She has further clarified that it is the responsibility of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to present sufficient evidence in court against individuals accused of terrorism.
The law sets out clear thresholds, as the presenters have presented here, of what constitutes terrorism. It is the responsibility of the police to conduct investigations and for the Director of Public Prosecutions to independently make an assessment both of the law and evidence to ensure that any charges presented in court meet these legal standards.
On Thursday, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution defended its decision to file terrorism charges against suspects linked to the violent incident during the June 25th and the July 7th protests. These came amid criticism from opposition leaders, civil society, and members of public. The ODPP clarified that the charges were not intended to suppress political expression, but were grounded in evidence, indicating deliberate and coordinated acts of violence targeting public institutions and threatening national security.
Not only the act of bombing, the act of destroying any government installation is an act of terrorism under the porter. It is within the law. It is not somebody making. When you apply it, then it's not the law. That is the law.
Of Terrorism Act of 2012 outlines the legal framework for identifying, preventing and prosecuting acts of terrorism in Kenya. It also criminalizes providing support for terrorism, including the use of forged documents, and established the National Counter-Terrorism Center to coordinate the country's counter-terrorism efforts. Meanwhile, the government's response to recent protests continue to spark national debates. While authorities defend their actions, human rights organizations have raised concerns over the use of excessive force and the application of harsh, potentially overreaching charges. Samira Mohammed for TV 47, Nairobi.
Well, moving forward, Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi has stirred public debate after saying that the government's promise to provide free education in public schools may no longer be affordable. Now, his remarks, as reported by Chichi Josephine, have triggered concern and frustration among parents and education stakeholders who are now questioning the future of schooling in the country.
Appearing before the National Assembly Committee on Thursday, July 24th, Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi delivered a major blow to parents by admitting that the government's commitment to providing free public education may not be financially sustainable.
Wanasema kwamba hawana pesa. Na pesa ziko, zimeenda wapi? Na ziko tele.
His remarks have stirred a public outcry, with many Kenyans expressing frustration over what they see as a government backtrack on a key social service.
Tunaona watoto wengi watakaa bila kusoma na watoto wengi watarudi nini waizi.
Watoto wengi wataelekea shuleni manake watakuwa machokora ama wataanza kuibia watoto mtaani manake wazazi hawana hela kumudu hela hiyo.
The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers (GOPAT) has strongly criticized the government's decision to reduce capitation for secondary school learners from 22,244 shillings to 16,000 shillings, calling it a clear indication that the state was never committed to fully supporting free education.
So when the finance minister comes out and say we cannot finance education, yet they are financing what they are calling empowerment, then we don't understand as teachers. The government won't be compelled to finance public education because they are taking our taxes.
Elsewhere, Kesha has asked the government to give a clear capitation for transparency, noting that they are disappointed in the current regime.
We now call upon the Ministry of Education to issue an official circular to all schools, clearly indicating the current capitation amount as admitted by the Cabinet Secretary for the Treasury.
Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos acknowledged the funding challenges, citing budget constraints and conflicting government priorities. However, he assured efforts are underway to secure adequate allocations to ensure learning continues without interruption.
It does not mean that we have moved from the 22,244 to the 16,900. It just means we have not been able to reach the 22,244 per student because of financial limitations. But between the Ministry of Education and Treasury, we are working very hard to see that we reach that target.
Kiharu Member of Parliament Honorable Dindi Nyoro has called on the government to eliminate wasteful expenditure and instead focus on funding free basic education and the Higher Education Loans Board. He cautioned against diverting resources towards non-essential projects such as office renovations at the expense of learners.
We want to tell them, and I'm here as an MP, we are not going to allow anyone to play around with the issue of free basic education. Stop those renovations you are doing in big offices. Direct that money into the education of the Kenyan children.
Chichi, Josephine, TV 47, Nairobi.
Thanks, Chichi, for that. Now, human rights activists are now threatening legal action against the national government, accusing it of failing to prevent the tragic events linked to the Shakahola cult in Malindi sub-county, Kilifi. Now, as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, the group was blocked from visiting a homestead where 6 survivors were recently rescued from the forest. Take a look at this.
Friday, a section of human rights defenders toured this homestead in Binzaro village, Kilifi County, where 6 people were recently rescued and 1 body recovered. However, the activists were blocked by security personnel from accessing the area, which has since been cordoned off.
Unajua, it's an embarrassment that Shakahola 1 happened. It's a bigger embarrassment that is happening again. Na intelligence systems zetu ziko. Kazi yao ni kutafuta watu wa maandamano.
The activists have now vowed to move to court and secure a permit for the immediate exhumation of bodies from the area.
Bila ya hivyo itakuwa hakuna faida yoyote ya kwa sisi tumeweza kuona kuna Shakahola tu, na mahali kama hapa pamekuwa barricaded, pamefungwa, hatujui panaanzia wapi, panaishia wapi.
We have police officers guarding katika vichaka hivi. I don't know what they are guiding. There are graves, I think, here. There are some houses, but they don't let people to know what is going on.
Binzaro village is near Shakahola, where controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie brainwashed his congregants to fasting, leading to the death of more than 420 people in 2023. And now there is tension that there is a resurgence of the Shakahola massacre.
Tunataka report haraka iwezekanavyo, tujue kunaendelea nini. Tunataka pia serikali hususan vyombo vya dola viwe proactive kuzuia masuala kama haya.
Tulitaka hizi dini zote zikuwe mahali ambapo zinakuwa kuna sheria yenye inafuata ili ziweze kuwa connected tu vizuri. Haikufanyika.
So we are even appealing to the international community if there is anything they can do to help, because as we speak we could be losing more lives. We don't know what is happening in there.
Elsewhere, controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie, through his lawyer Lawrence Obonyo, has denied claims linking him to recent extremism ideologies reportedly spreading in Binzaro village, claiming the allegations are part of a smear campaign aimed at damaging his reputation and complicating his ongoing court battles, where he is facing 4 charges.
He's praying that if everyone can keep his name out of this process, so that it does not even affect what is going on before the courts.
Elizabeth Atieno, TV 47.
Now tonight, ODM party leader Raila Odinga has defended Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, saying it's within his democratic right to speak days after Sifuna declared the ODM Memorandum of Understanding with UDA as dead. Now Odinga, who spoke during the party's delegates conference in Kakamega, told off Sifuna critics in the party, saying the party is democratic and accommodates divergent voices. And as Apollo Kamau reports, the fate of the ODM-UDA MOU now hangs in the balance.
Days after his party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna declared the UDA-ODM MOU as dead, ODM party leader Raila Odinga broke his silence on an issue that has jolted the broad-based government, saying it's within Sifuna's democratic right to express his opinions.
Kama Sifuna ameongea, ako na haki ya kuongea. Ako na haki ya kuongea. Kama wewe unatofautiana na yeye kwa maoni, sema yako. Sema yako. Sio ndio demokrasia? Mimi sijasema ati mimi usiongee kwa chama namna hii. Sema hata kama unaona baba unafanya makosa, sema. ODM.
Taking the cue from Odinga and in a show of solidarity, ODM Deputy Party Leaders, Mombasa Governor Abdul Somad Sharif and Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi stood in solidarity with Sifuna.
Hii maneno umeongea ni ya ukweli, Mheshimiwa Sifuna. Hakuna uongo hata kidogo. Lakini umeongea na baba, akaniambia usijali. Lakini mimi nikamwambia mimi nimekupatia go ahead kama deputy party leader, enda uambie wa Kenya maneno. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wanasema wanalaumu Sifuna, hata mlaumu Osotsi.
Mimi niko na baba wa siasa na baba alinizaa. Nilifundishwa ya kwa ukiwa unachapwa ujue una maana, kwa sababu mti wenye matunda ndio wenye kupigwa mawe.
Amid cheers from ODM Kakamega delegates, Sifuna maintained his loyalty remains to ODM while slamming those supporting President William Ruto's bid in 2027.
Baba nalaumiwa kwa kusema kwamba mimi chama changu ni ODM. Hiyo makosa iko wapi? Nalaumiwa kwa kusema kiongozi wangu ni Raila Amolo Odinga na bado yuko hapa. Watu wanaongea ni kama baba hayuko. Kwani huyu ni nani bana? Who is this? Si ni baba? Wewe unakuaje mwanachama wa ODM? Unasema baba akisema left ni left, right ni right, lakini unasimama unasema 2027 si tunaunga mtu mwingine. Baba amekutuma useme hiyo mimbo. Baba ndiye amekutuma useme hiyo vitu.
In what could mark another turning point in the UDA-ODM MOU deal, Odinga said ODM party top organs will meet to review the implementation of the deal, which has divided ODM since it was signed in March this year.
Sasa tukafanya mazungumzo na wao, na watu wetu ndio waliandika ile memorandum of understanding. Wakina Sifuna waliandika hiyo. Mimi nimekuja tu kunisomea, mimi hii ndio tumeandika.
ODM will also take a formal position on Sifuna's utterances, with the party maintaining it will live up to its pro-people democratic ideals. Apul Kamau, TV47.
All right, now, supporters of the broad-based government initiative led by Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki have come out strongly to, of course, defend the working agreement between President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga. Now, dismissing, of course, growing criticism, they insisted the bigger goal is to unite the country. While at the same time, they took aim at ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, accusing him of creating division within the coalition. Kapsaret MP Oscar Sudi went a step further, claiming Sifuna's frustration stemmed from missing out on a cabinet secretary position.
Your Excellency.
Just days after ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna emphasized on the broad-based agreement which was signed not to be working and termed it dead, the broad-based proponents led by Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki have come out guns blazing in defense of it, stating that it is the way to uniting the country despite of political alignments.
Kwa hivyo sisi tukiwa viongozi ambao tumekuja tukakuta Mheshimiwa Raila akiwa kwa siasa, sisi tunamuenzi na tunamheshimu. We respect him for what he has done for our country, and all the time making sure that his personal interests do not supersede the interest of our nation.
Watu ambao wanaeneza siasa ya uchuki, siasa ya hasira, siasa ya ukabila hawana nafasi katika Kenya hii. Tunataka kuona Wakenya tunatembea pamoja.
Further, a section of ODM leaders now want Sifuna to respect the two principles agreement, insisting that are on broad-based until further notice, as they rubbished claims of confusion within the ODM party.
Wacha niseme leo kama mwenyekiti wa kitaifa, hakuna siku hata moja tumetoka katika hiyo agreement. Na hakuna siku hata moja baba ametuambia tutoke hapo. Kwa hivyo kama wewe unakuja kuzungumza na baba amesema tuko pamoja na President William Ruto na wewe unasema kinyume, basi wewe huzungumzi kwa niaba ya chama cha ODM.
ni mbaya. Sijui shule gani ameenda baada ya sisi kuongoa kama chairman ya budget, na leo hii mwezi mbili sijui alienda kusoma shule gani, kwa sababu hiyo akili hakuwa nayo wakati alikuwa chairman ya budget. Hii shule ya Gumbaru ambaye amesoma mwezi mbili hii, sijui hiyo shule inapatikana Kangema ama Kiharu, ama inapatikana wapi? Hiyo shule ya bandia uache kabisa.
Meanwhile, Kapsaret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi has slammed Sifuna off planting seeds of discord within broad-based government in what he claims of Sifuna being bitter for missing out on Cabinet Secretary's lot, alleging that even solicited for bribe.
Najua Sifuna anakasirika sana kwa sababu hakuwekwa kwa hiyo panel ya kukutanisha watu. Au kukuwa na panel pale Sifuna, ni rais mwenyewe waliongea na Raila Odinga na wakakubaliana in very simple terms ya kwamba washikanishe inji na waunganishe inji. Lakini najua uliuliza milioni 300 ili utuunge mkono. Mimi nataka nikuambie Sifuna, hatuwezi kukupea tandururu.
ODM is part of broad-based. Kama haukubaliani na yale baba walikubaliana na president wetu, pack your bags, go and form your chama, and then you can partner with whoever you want to partner.
In the midst of said confusion, ODM boss Raila Odinga says everyone has freedom of speech and expression on issues within the party and Kenyans at large. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV47, Nairobi.
All right, to some fantastic news, and Cape Media is proud to announce the appointment of former Lands Cabinet Secretary Dr. Farida Kamarini as our new growth strategy consultant. Well, in this role, she will help steer the rapid growth of TV47, Radio 47, and TV47 Digital, already among Kenya's fastest growing media platforms. Now, Dr. Kamarini brings over 30 years of experience in journalism, media leadership, and public service. Well, she previously served as the Chief Operating Officer at Royal Media Services before becoming CES for Lands under President Uhuru Kenyatta. Her academic credentials include a PhD and MBA in Strategic Management from the University of Nairobi. Well, we are very excited to have her leadership and vision as, of course, she becomes part of the Cape Media family. All right, welcome home, I must say. All right, let's now move on to some business news. And FAO Kenya's official dealer, Trans-Africa Motors, has unveiled the new FAO 6 Series trucks at a showcase event at the Ole Sereni showroom in Nairobi. Now, designed to meet the evolving needs of transport operations in Kenya and the wider East African region, the newly launched models JK6 and JH6 were praised for their high load capacity, power efficiency, and advanced safety features. All guests, including business owners and logistics professionals, got an up-close look at the vehicles and even had a chance to test them in conditions tailored to local terrains.
JK6 series, right behind me. It comes with a 6-cylinder Deutz engine equipped with a 180 horsepower engine. This is a German technology. And also for the transmission, it has an 8-speed Eaton gearbox. This is very good gearing ratio. And also you will find a truck that comes with the air brakes. And also we added ABS on this. The chassis is 21 feet, so this should give you a lot of room to carry more goods.
We are marking the 20 years in the Kenyan market, and also we are launching the 2 trucks, the JH series and the JK series, which are doing very well in the market right now, especially the JK6 series. It's a 10-ton truck. And people have really accepted it, and from the reviews we are getting from our clients and the prospects, it's really doing very well. We also have the JH6, which comes in automatic with the 460 HP horsepower and the 420 HP horsepower.
Nimekuwa na hii kampuni for miaka zaidi ya 13. Nimefanya nao na bado niko nao. Sisi hii magari naendesha FAO. Na FAO saa hii imekuwa comfortable, imekuwa reliable. Kwa madereva wenzangu waingie FAO, waijaribu. Ni
All right, moving on. Airtel Africa has posted a 22.4% jump in revenue, of course hitting $1.415 billion mark for the quarter, of course ending June 30th, 2025. Now the company's constant currency growth stood at 24.9%. East Africa contributed $498 million, marking, of course, a mark of course, 75.6 million. While mobile money customers grew by 16.1%, helping to push annualized transaction value to $162 billion. Airtel has also reported 29.8% growth in EBITDA to $679 million, crediting strong performance and improved cost efficiency. Now, Kenya's industrial sector is making a major push toward climate action with the launch of a new emissions reduction roadmap by the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, KAM. Now, the plan targets a 32% cut in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030 and highlights the need for sustainable wastewater management to advance both emissions goals and the circular economy. Now, the report, developed in collaboration with partners, calls for stronger policy enforcement, more infrastructure investment, and closer partnerships between the public and the private sectors, with water access now at 75% and sanitation expanding to more towns. Industries are embracing innovations such as grey water recycling, biogas systems, and zero liquid discharge. But the report stresses that these efforts must move from planning to real action.
They have installed in-site treatment facilities, exploring biogas generation from effluent sludge, and private sector is not waiting to be told.
Where do we start? So we need to have very realistic goals that we need to address.
They have installed in-site treatment facilities, exploring biogas generation from effluent sludge, and private sector is not waiting to be told.
Where
All right, now let's get to some sporting action. After years of delay, construction work has finally begun on the much-anticipated redevelopment of Kamarini, a stadium in Elgeyo-Marakwet County, offering fresh hope to Kenya's athletics and football community. Now, the groundbreaking ceremony marks a major milestone for the region's sporting future. The first phase of the project is expected to be completed within a year. Once finished, the facility will not only celebrate the area's rich athletic legacy, but also serve as a key training ground for nurturing future talent in track and football.
Kamarini Stadium ni moja ya stadiums yenye itakuwa international standards. Yeah. Itakuwa na uwanja ya kucheza mpira, itakuwa na uwanja ya kukimbia, na itakuwa na tartan kwa hii uwanja, so itakuwa competition field. I know our athletes wao kwa wanapenda sana tuweke tartan kwa sababu ni mzuri kutrain kwa maram, so tutatafuta another pitch watengenezee ya kutrain na maram, lakini hii itakuwa competition stadium, itawekwa tartan, itakuwa kila kitu mpaka steeplechase. Itakuwa na 4 changing rooms, VIP upande ule, itakuwa na capacity 6 ya 10,000 na another 1,500 ya VIPs, na itakuwa hii ndio phase 1. Phase 2 yenye itajengwa na housing itakuwa na hostels ya accommodate 100 people, so that itakuwa ni training place, even international athletes wakikuja wanakuja kufanya camp up. Contractual period ya hii kazi ni 1 year, so by July next year hakuna contractor hapa, uwanja ndio itabaki peke yake.
All right, now striker Eric Kapaito has made a comeback to Tusker Football Club ahead of the upcoming Football Kenya Federation Premier League season. Now, the 29-year-old forward returns after spending 1 season in Tanzania. A 2-time Golden Boot winner in the FKF Premier League, Kapaito becomes the 3rd player signed by the Brewers this transfer window, while he joins the midfielder Vincent Otieno and defender Eugene Ikutwa. Kapaito has previously featured for Kariobangi Sharks and Talanta FC.
Ukiangalia training najaribu kurudi na vitu ambaye nilikuwa nafanya yenye sikupata chance ya kufanya huko TZ, because ukiangalia ni vitu mbili tofauti. Hapa hivi I believe niko na hiyo chance ya kutrain, niko na watu naweza train nao pamoja pia, alafu hapa hivi niko free. Yani kuna tofauti fulani tu personal na iko personal hiyo, unaona.
All right, now Embu County is gearing up to host the 44th edition of the Kenya Communications Sports Organization Games, scheduled to run from August 23rd to the 30th, 2025. Now, the event is expected to attract more than 5,000 participants from various government parastatals. Now, the week-long tournament will feature a variety of sporting events across multiple venues. Moi Stadium will host football and athletics. Embu University will stage indoor games like volleyball, basketball, netball, and chess, while aquatic events will take place at the Sir John Sports and Recreational Center. Kikosa Secretary General Omole Esiko hailed the games as a platform for unity, teamwork, and talent growth, while organizers expect the event to significantly boost local tourism and business.
Kama mnavyojua mchezo mara nyingi, especially mbio, mara nyingi kambi ya huletwa hapa Embu. So na sisi tunafurahia kukuja hapa Embu, na vile vile tunahitaji na tunawahimiza especially vijana kwa vitu kama haya waje kwa wingi ili wabadilishe na wajenge ile talanta zao.
A total of about 3,000 to 5,000 sportsmen and women will be in this county specifically for the games. As for the spectators, you can guess because some of the events that we're having some top-notch teams participating Kikoso.
Nikiulizwa tutasema, na pia watu wa Embu watajua michezo tofauti, na tukiachwa hapo watakuwa pia wamehamasika katika hicho kipindi, katika hiyo hali ya michezo. Kwa hivyo nikiangalia naona hii kwetu Embu being the land of opportunity, itakuwa ni opportunity kubwa sana tumepata watu wa Embu.
Okay, so unajua yani maneno matamu lazima yapangwe. You know what? I'm just seeing, I'm on our live chat on YouTube. We're like, hey, Baba T anapendwa. Wacha nisome hapa Princess Kerubo Baba T. Mwanasema Hilda washeke Baba T. Yani karibuni nimetoka kwa live yake saa hii. Baba T. Wacha tu nimlete tu. Hata mwenyewe angesoma tu news. Baba T. Ulifanya karibu come.
We go.
Hi Talisha. Can I get a hug? Please. Can I get a hug? Oh my goodness. You sweet munchkin. How are you?
Hi.
Ebu wave to the audience. See that camera? Ebu wave. Over here. Come. Over here.
Oh, it's here, Mama.
Yeah, there you go. Say hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
I'm so happy to have you.
Yes.
Unapendwa kupendwa. Salimia mashabiki wako.
Hello guys, how are you?
Wanasema umetoka kwa live yako sasa.
Oh, nimekuwa live kidogo. What is this?
It's a TV. I know. That's a TV. You like it? You like it?
Yes.
Oh my. Actually, you know what? I'll put a picture of you there so that you can see yourself. All right, Ma, it's so nice to have you here in studio.
Thank you.
Check it to my fans wako vile wako hapa. Aona Baba T for president. Nyinyi acheni hizi. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine.
That?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
I thank God.
I'm so happy to have you in studio.
Thank you.
Leo, you're such an inspiring figure. Kila mtu anakungojea because they just see you, they see like hope, they see inspiration.
Yeah.
Inakuwa na pressure?
Inaga pressure. Yeah, we anapendaga sibu sana.
Wewe naona ameshaenda kwa pictures. Okay guys, so you know what? We'll take a short commercial break, but we are coming back with Baba T and of course the beautiful, lovely girl Talisha. Come baby, come. Let's go. All right guys, we'll be back.